Hey everybody, thanks for coming in and spending the day with Daphne. How y'all doing today? I am doing great. As you can see, we having a little mini seafood boil, honey. I haven't had any crab legs in a minute. So y'all, this is what I do. Every time I see them on sale in the little sales paper at Jewel, usually, I grab as many as my pockets can afford and I just put them in the freezer. So I got all these crab legs. So y'all probably gonna be seeing quite a few of these. And anyway, I made some butter sauce. And I got a few shrimp up here. These are nice big ones too. I get these from Pete's. They're called Atlantic pink shrimp. And they are so good and so delicious. And I got a few eggs and some lemon. And of course I got my what did I got? Oh, some Diet Coke with lemon juice in it. I love Diet Coke and lemon juice. So anyway, let's get it in. What I want to start with first. Ooh, let's see. These prickly. Ooh, they so prickly. Ow. Now I'm gonna have to cut that one open. Let me start with a shrimp. These still have the shell on it. I like the shell on shrimp. Mmm. Ooh, that's good. Mm-hmm. I put a lot of onions in here too. Y'all know I love my onions. Ooh, you want the first bite? Ooh. mm. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, mm, mm. Mm. This fasting for 12, 13 hours a day. I'm getting kind of used to it. Because after a few hours, you don't even be hungry. I put me some green peppers in here too, y'all. Mm-hmm. I had some left over when I made something. I had some peppers left over. Oh, I made some meat sauce for my spaghetti. Mm-hmm. And I don't like any type of vegetable to go to waste. Mm-mm. Mm. Let me see if I can get this sucker open. Woke up to a nice, beautiful, sunny day. What y'all do today? It was so warm and nice here in Chicago. So what I did, I started cleaning out my closet and clean my room out real good from top to bottom, even the ceiling fans. Sure, sure did. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm-mm. I'm gonna say that one for later. I gave away some plants, y'all. I was trying to be a plant mom. Oh, look, that juice is, that sauce is kicking. It got spice to it. I was trying to be a plant mom, but them kids was getting on my nerve, honey. And plus, they was taking up a lot of space. And I'm not the type that be taking care of plants and stuff like that. Mm. And I don't know how them things survive these years Because I think I got them about maybe 3 years ago. My daughter-in-law and I was at Walmart, and they had a sale on all the plants because the plants were dying. Mm. And they were only $1. So I grabbed 2 of those. And they came back to life. Them jokers came back to life, honey. They was real pretty too. Mm. Mm. I just got tired of them. So I gave them to my girlfriend that lived down the street. We kind of grew up together, right? We didn't grow up together, but we've been living out here as neighbors for close to 20 years. Our kids grew up together. It was funny how we met. Both our sons used to take karate. And when we would take them to practice, we didn't know each other at the time, but we was always sitting next to each other at every practice. Then I think I saw her at T-ball, but I do remember her seeing her. I do remember seeing her at the karate class. And then when she moved like right across the street from me, like down the street, across the street, because a park separates us, I was like, I know you from somewhere. And she was like, yeah, so we got to put 2 and 2 together. I was like, oh, wow, we were sitting next to each other in karate class. We would speak, you know, but, and she wasn't living next to me at the time, but that was really funny. Who knew? We would be neighbors and longtime friends. Her name Angie, and she been with me through thick and thin. She was by my side when my sister passed. She was by my side when, I'm making a mess. When my son passed, when my son passed, it was really messed up. There's nothing in there because it was like maybe a week and a half before Thanksgiving. And honey, I thought I was going to be able to get up and cook. She called me that Thanksgiving morning and asked how I was doing. And I think I just broke down over the phone. And she came running over there. And guess what, y'all? She brought her whole Thanksgiving dinner to my house. Everything. I mean, she packed up pots, pans, turkeys, everything. And she came over and they had dinner with me. And my husband, he had went out and got one of those, because we thought it was just going to be us. I was so sad, y'all. I couldn't even get out the bed. I was really sad. But my husband went out and bought one of those Stouffer's lasagnas. And some garlic bread. And I think my daughter made a salad. So we thought that was going to be it. And then Angie and Michael, her husband, and her daughter. I think her daughter and her son. They all came over and we just sat in the dining room and sat at the table and just had a real nice Thanksgiving. I really appreciated that from her. She's a very sweet lady. So I gave her the plants. Because if she didn't want them, I was just going to sit them out in front of the house and let whoever want to take them. Because we make this, my husband made this sign that says free, just take it. And we usually sit furniture and stuff out there that we don't want anymore or whatever. And people will come, they be pulling up. They'll pull up and put that stuff in their car, in their trunk. Yep. Ooh. Mm. So that way we ain't got to be lugging it around to the thrift store, you know. So, mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. So we just put that sign up there. I mean, one time we had got rid of some really nice little knick-knack furniture, like a couple of tall bar stool chairs, floor lamp, I think a little desk table thingy, and it was in very good condition. And some lady, she had a young teenage girl. I'm gonna say teenage, but she was a young lady with her mom. They pulled up in front of the house and got. I said that's gonna look real cute in somebody's apartment, you know, as some starter furniture. Mm-hmm. No, that's what we do. And then when my son, he was a paraplegic before he passed. He got paralyzed when he was 6 years old because he had a tumor in his spine. That boy used to fall down a lot. And I was like, what is wrong with him? And then he would say his stomach burning. And I didn't know what he was talking about. I took him to the hospital, to the ER. And you know when they tap you on your knee or your leg to test your reflexes? He ain't had none. Because it was like, we got to get him in for an MRI. And after they did that, that's when they found that tumor. And when they removed it, he was paralyzed from the waist down. But they had already said that there was going to be a risk. You know, it was because the tumor was the size of a hot dog right in the middle of his spine. They call it the T6 area. And it was right there. And then it had a stem that reached all the way up to the base of his brain. So it was a very risky surgery. His surgery was entered into, what's that, JAMA? Journal of American Medicine Journal? Some kind of magazine like that. Yeah, because that was like the first one they did on somebody as that young, because he was only 6. But he survived the surgery, and he had his disability. But that didn't stop him from doing nothing. That boy was a mess. He played wheelchair basketball. He played wheelchair baseball. Traveled all over the country with the team. He was very, very good. And what else did he do? Hockey, sled hockey. I was a hockey mom. Karate. Went to college. Got his own apartment. He had 2 cars and a bunch of women. Lord, them women used to be knocking on my doors, on my windows, in the front room, calling the house. I said, I don't know what you're doing with them, but, oh, excuse me. They are sprung like Donkey Kong. Oh, that boy was a mess. Mm-hmm. But he didn't pass from his disability. He passed from a brain aneurysm. I'll never forget. It was one Friday. He said he had a headache. And the headache, he was hurting real bad. Then Saturday, He was trying to go out to a club Saturday. I said, no, stay in the house and rest, son. Because he stayed in the house Saturday. Then Sunday came around. And I said, you gonna come up here and watch football with me? He ain't feel like watching football. I knew something was wrong. He said, no, I just want to take some Cedric. He was taking that Cedric PM. He said, because it just felt like I got a migraine. My head hurt. So I said, okay, get some rest. When Monday came around, I said, Cedric, your head still hurt? He said, yeah, Mom. I said, come on, let's go. Took him to the hospital. He was sitting in the back seat. I'll never forget. 2014, November 2014. And he was talking to his friends and stuff on the phone. And when we got up to the emergency room, well, I parked in the parking lot. And I was just going to get his chair out the trunk and put him in there. But when I got his chair out and rolled it around, you know, to the door, he was in cardiac arrest. I mean, his eyes was totally dilated. And he was breathing real hard. And as a mom, you know, something that would make you panic. But I calmly, I don't know, it must have been God or something just came over me. I put that chair back in the trunk, drove right in front of the emergency door, and ran in there and got somebody. I said, I think my son is in cardiac arrest. Something wrong with him, I don't know. That nurse took one look at him. Baby, she jumped on top of him, straddled him, and just started compression. And I was just like, I'm just dazed. So they took him in. We sat there in the triage area or emergency area. They rushed him in, did an MRI and everything. And the doctors came back out. They was like, his brain is swollen and full of blood. And I don't know. I just blacked out because that's all I remember. And he stayed in the hospital for probably about, that was Monday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I think that Thursday he passed away. He fought a good fight. Because he had his body had started breaking down last couple, previous years. He was getting all kind of pressure sores from sitting so much because he was a street dude. I'm telling y'all, that chair didn't stop him from doing nothing. He could do everything you can do except for walk. So, yeah. But sitting like that so long, you know how when we get uncomfortable, we move around. He can't feel when he get uncomfortable, so he just sit there, and then his skin would break down and would get these huge ulcers. And I don't want to talk about that while I'm eating, but Mama took care of him. I took care of my baby until the end. I think my youngest son took it the hardest because my youngest son, Sean, took it the hardest. That was his big brother. And Cedric spoiled that little boy. People thought that was his son because they was, let's see. I think 15 years apart. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, 15 years apart. So the high schoolers, the kids in the neighborhood, because we had moved to a new neighborhood that we really didn't know anybody at one point. But yeah, they thought that was his son. And I was wondering why he used to always be like, Mom, let me take Sean. I'm going to take Sean to the park. Sean was a little baby. He was probably like maybe a year or two. I'm taking Sean to the park every day. And I'm like, why you always want to take my baby to the park? That's unusual for a teenager to want to be bothered with his little baby brother every day. Come to find out, he said, Mom, he's a chick magnet. All the girls come around, oh, that's your baby. I'm like, boy, give me my baby. Pimping my baby out. But those was a good time. Me and Angie was talking about that today because I think she lost a couple of family members. And I know it's hard. It's been 10 years for me. It was really hard that first 5 years. But then after that, we just started thinking about the funny stuff that he used to do because he was loved by everybody. We go to a new neighborhood or restaurant and I don't know, the women loved him. Charming. That man was charming. So, yep. Look, I don't know how I got on that subject. He must be thinking about me. But he was a blessing. He passed away. I think he was 30. He had 30 or 31. But he lived a really, really good life. He did more in his life than his friends did that was able, that had nothing wrong with them. He did more in his life than they did. So, I remember he started his own business. He was basically the first Uber. Because he would, I told y'all he would drive. He had these hand controls on his car. He could drive anybody's car. And out in the suburbs, the buses stopped running at a certain time. So he had quite a few customers that he would take to work or pick up from work, take to the grocery store and all that stuff. He was a hustler like his mama, honey. That boy was a hustler. He wasn't never broke. I used to ask him for money. That boy was a hustler. Like his mama and like his granddaddy. My dad was a hustler too. So anyway, enough of that. I want to thank y'all for coming in and spending the day with Daphne. And please do me a favor and like, share, and subscribe, comment, and hit that bell. And I will see you in the next video. All right, bye.